Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and today we are going to finish off the Arkham Horror the Card Game Midnight Mass scenario. And where we had left off in the last scenario was literally on the brink of this scenario ending. I kind of apologize, guys, because I probably could have finished it, but I wanted to do this on camera with you, and we can also read the cool narratives that may come out of this, if there's anything positive to come out of the agenda deck advancing. So what had happened actually was I didn't actually realize that with the two Doom tokens we had on the Wizard of Order, along with the one from this cultist in the middle, and the 4 here, that going into the next turn, the beginning of the Mythos phase puts a Doom on, and bam, we've hit 8, and we need to flip the card. So essentially very quickly the round is over, and there wouldn't have been anything else I could have done. So I was thinking I might have another round or two. One thing I want to clean up from the prior video that Andy actually pointed out, and I want to thank him, a subscriber on the channel, for looking into this and getting back to me in the comments, but I had missed the retaliate keyword on the Wizard of Order when we made an attack against him, and we failed actually on that attack, and that's when that triggers. Retaliate triggers when you fail on an attack, and the damage that's on the particular enemy is done back to you, so 1 damage would come to Roland. However, I don't want Roland to become or have any type of physical trauma going into the next turn, and luckily I still have Dr. Myling Christopher, so I am more than happy to discard him in order to avoid Roland taking any extra damage to knock him out. So at least we're squared away to the end of the turn. Now, this is where things get hilarious, because I could have finished this in the last video, and I didn't. But essentially, the very first thing you do in the Mythos phase, of course, as you all know, is place 1 Doom on the agenda. And then you advance the agenda if the Doom threshold is satisfied. So that quickly, we're basically done. So we've taken this Doom token here. It ends up landing here. That's 5 across the back. 1 here is 6. And 2 on the Wizard of Order is our 8. So there was really nothing we could have done besides continue to fluke out and maybe have killed off one of these cultists. But I just got too gummed up with the Night Gaunt that we had to deal with in the previous video, on top of the hunt, the masked hunter coming after us was really nasty. So we really didn't get too much freedom there, but at least we didn't go down, unless of course this agenda card is bad. Then maybe bad things do happen. So at this point we do flip the agenda. So let's do the agenda deck. So let's do that together and see what happens. So time is running short, and the minutes are passing quickly as your investigation continues. We didn't choose to resign. The Doom token threshold was satisfied. It doesn't look very pleasant of what's going on over there. Okay, here we go. What happened? The clock strikes midnight. 12 bells ring out across the town. It is midnight. There is no time left to investigate the city. You must act based on the information you've collected from the cultists you've found. Okay, good. So I guess the positive here is I didn't flip this card and see some nasty creature. I didn't cause any, I didn't get any kind of trauma. Nothing seems to be too bad with that, so I'm okay with it. It does say R2, so I'm going to reference myself to this campaign book, which I will flip to the Midnight Mass page, and we'll do this together. So where we land with the Resolution 2 for the Part 2 Midnight Mass is what we're playing. We'll be focusing on Resolution 2. It says 12 bells ring out, signaling midnight. You've run out of time. The cult's ritual will begin shortly. You've managed to obtain some useful information about the cult and its plans. You can only hope it's enough. In your campaign log, under Cultists We Interrogated, record the names of each unique cultist enemy in the victory display. So the cultists that we actually were able to interrogate were these 2 guys here, the Mass Hunter and Ruth Turner. So that's pretty cool. So we are going to be able to actually add those 2 into the campaign log. And then it says in your campaign log, under cultists who got away, record the name of each unique enemy still remaining in the cultist deck or in play. So there will be there's essentially cultists from the special scenario deck back here, and they're all going to get flipped over, and those are the ones that are going to get away, according to this. In the campaign log, record that it is past midnight, so we'll do that for the next scenario. If the Ghoul Priest is in the victory display, cross out the Ghoul Priest is still alive in your campaign log. So in our previous agenda notes here, we had killed him. So we didn't have him even as part of anything. If he had still been alive, then we would do that, but we didn't have to deal with that. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. So that means we would gain a total of 3 XP. So this essentially sums up the the ending of the scenario. However, I will be doing a separate video where I not only fill in the sheet appropriate. I remember way back, guys, when we first set this up, I had filled this sheet in here and we'd kept all of our XP and everything on it. Some of these things need to be updated. Like, for instance, I spent a majority of that XP to buy the Elder Sign and some other things, so I'm going to have to change that. And I'm also going to have to update this page, as we saw, like with cultists we interrogated and who got away. So in the next video, even though this one's a super short one, I'm going to cover all of that kind of stuff instead of in this one, because then I'll be able to do like a deck management or hand management type, or even deck building, really, of the game, and we can potentially purchase and do some swapping of cards in that video, which I think would be cool. So, want to apologize for this really short video, because I really didn't realize how quick I was to the end of this thing. But hey, at least we got out of there with 2 cultists in the end, so that's not bad. And I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm okay with this. So we got 2 of them, and it's better than nothing. And then out of the pile here, I think there's 4. So we got 2 to the 6. So that's pretty good. All right, so that's pretty much the Midnight Mass. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And until the next episode, guys, thanks again for watching. If you like what you saw, even though it was super short, and I do apologize for that, let me know with a thumbs up. We're going to continue the core box scenarios by moving into the third, part 3, I guess it's called, and that is going to be called The Devourer Below. So we'll be doing that in the next video. I'm looking forward to doing that with you guys to complete the Night of the Zealot, and just so you guys are aware, seeing as we have some extra time, I am planning on essentially, what I'll be doing actually, for those of you that jumped on the channel recently and I didn't give this explanation, I gave it to you prior, but it would have been months ago. What I'm planning to do is, I'm going to go ahead and play the 3rd part in the next video series for Arkham Horror the card game. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewind the tape, essentially rewind the tape, back to the end of the first scenario. And I'm going to take everything that I had starting with the end of the first scenario being completed, and I'm going to go off on a side quest. And I'm going to implement a side quest. So almost what's going to happen is I'm going to create alternate reality paths for Roland, essentially, which I think is going to be kind of cool. So what you're seeing right now is me go through part 1, part 2, and part 3 of Night of the Zealot. What I'm hoping to incorporate is the Carnival of Horrors, and I forget what the other one's called. It's got a werewolf in it. But I'm essentially going to try to incorporate those side quests into the main game campaign to show you kind of how those could be incorporated and how it would change the story or the cards or even the flow of the game than just playing the core 3 straight through. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea as to like how the game can mold and shape. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to do that. I hope you guys will enjoy it. Anyway, if you guys are looking forward to it, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I really appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. All your feedback has been awesome. I do want to give a shout out to Andy. I appreciate his comments, letting me know that I missed the retaliate. That's the kind of stuff that I want from you guys. Solo gaming is a lot to think about and handle on your own, and you don't have another person there to necessarily make your checks on what you're doing. So because I don't like to cheat or play outside the rules, I like playing by the book. I really appreciate anything that I do miss being mentioned. So thank you guys again, and I will see you in the next episode, which will be some type of deck building video. Until next time, guys, thanks again, and keep on rolling solo.